All right. All right, just try our best to keep this simple because it's been pretty slow, especially in the sports gaming world. I mean, MLB The Show has been doing pretty good. I guess we could talk about that for a little
Oh,
bit
I
as
got a
well.
bone to pick
Yeah, we could talk about that for a little bit.
because
But for
yeah.
the main thing I want to talk about is the NFL draft because a week from today, the draft is going to be on point. It's going to be running. So we'll talk about that. First and Framerates episode 231 is myself, DJ81. Once again, we are here doing the sports and sports gaming thing. We always try our best to give you the best commentary as far as two regular guys just talking about sports and sports gaming. Try to put a little twist on it and try to make it entertaining and informative to you guys. If you haven't already, if you're new to this podcast, click the like button. If you haven't caught us live, share this podcast. Also, check out the other episodes we do have because we try to do this every Tuesday and Thursday. And we just talk about sports and sports gaming. All right, let's get into the intros. Myself, VF Ball, I'll go first. If you see behind me, last episode I was in another room. Today I'm upstairs once again. If you don't know how I used to do videos and stuff, I was up here moving stuff up here, so it looks kind of wonky. You don't want to see anything to my left, your right. It looks really bad over here right now because I'm trying to get a second bookshelf. The bookshelf you saw in the last episode, the tall white one, I'm not using that one anymore. My wife is stealing that from me, so I got to get a new bookshelf. Other than that, just been playing a few games. I got my console set up and everything. That's pretty cool, but I don't have the other stuff set up yet. So got my one bookshelf, but the other one's not, and I got a ton of other things I need to put over here. So that's what I've been doing. I did stream MLB The Show yesterday, last night. Catch that on Twitch. The link is down in the description. Very competitive game, but one bad pitch killed the entire game. I lost that game, first game of the season, 2-6. End up giving up a grand slam, but it's one game out of what? How many games is this season? 150 or something? 160?
162.
Is one? Oh, they went back to the full schedule. Okay.
Yeah. They kept certain aspects like the extra innings runner on second, but the universal DHs.
Okay. I got you. But yeah, it's one out of 162, so we'll bounce back. I won't be streaming all 162, but I will
Yeah,
be
that would be
giving
crazy.
yeah, but I will be giving you the numbers of what games I will actually be putting up when I do stream because I do plan on playing 162, but I don't think I'm gonna be streaming them. So other than that, played it on the Xbox Series S, phenomenal piece of hardware, and it runs very well on there. So I'll let DJ do his intro and let everybody know what's going on.
Well, nothing much. It's just still in recovery mode, but I was
Yeah,
up.
how you feeling?
I'm still feeling it, but I also had my shipment of wine come in today. So,
You think that's a good idea drinking that when you got that going on?
well, not within the first 24 hours of it. Trust me, I researched this. So, like, usually within the first 24, whatever, 48 hours I have of experiencing a concussion, you don't want to have anything. You just want to rest. Um, it's, and I can gauge that it's fairly mild, and most of the symptoms have died down. I've been doing this test every couple of days just to gauge how I'm feeling, and the most moderate symptom that I had was nausea,
Nausea, yeah.
and I that went away. So
Okay, well that's good. Good.
right now it's just like maybe a headache every now and then. But yeah, but I'm trying out this shipment for the first time. It's like a subscription service. Um, first
Did you
time
get that? Did you get that wine service from Tasha K?
no, it was like it's something that's called like seller quality sellers.
I think she. No, I'm just asking because I think she promotes that on her channel. Don't ask me how I know that. My wife watches Tasha K. That's how I know.
Oh, okay. I
She
don't.
love. Matter of fact, my son loves Tasha K. When she's on the TV, he's all up on the TV looking at it like he never seen a woman before.
Yeah, so I've already had like a few glasses. Right now, I'm drinking water to balance it out. So,
That's good. That's good. Okay.
but other than that, I played a couple of games of MLB The Show overnight. Played the Orioles, and I've been really just practicing on the pitching mechanic, and with different pitchers and different level rated pitchers.
and it's different.
It's very different.
It's different. My main thing, I'm learning how to try to keep the pitches down because my pitches are too high. But I think that was one of the problems. I've been getting a lot of balls instead of strikes because they're going over the plate, but they're just too high.
Well, one of the things that I do notice, because I've been like, at first I started out, I was okay. Obviously, I had Max and Steven, but then I went with Patrick. I forgot the one pitcher, John Lester and Joe Ross, and Corbin was the most difficult that I had to deal with. So I guess the control rating does play a factor when you're trying to do the diagram, but also the timing of their release obviously is different from pitcher to pitcher.
Absolutely.
And
yes, it is.
Lester, I found out I was struggling with him initially, but then as soon as I figured out he has a long ass delay before he releases. So as soon as I figured that out, I started following the delay. But they give you they give you the playthrough of how
to do it, right?
With their timing included. So, and I noticed on your stream there were times you were just getting there and it's just automatically going down. It was too soon.
Right. So, what I told you though, I'm used to doing it fast though.
Exactly.
That's the problem, and I got to get used to that. And once I get used to it, I've been getting a good pitches out, but whatever. But like some of them are like too high, and it's because I'm going too fast. Like I'm so used to the 2K version, and it's just like I said, it's a long season. I think I'll get used to it eventually. It's just that's something that caught my eye. It's like, man, no matter, I try to be patient, but I'm so used to it's muscle memory all over again. So, but yeah. You said you had a bone to pick with it. You want to discuss that now? Or you want to discuss it after we get through this?
Let me see. Oh yeah, the servers interrupting the offline experience. That's my bone to pick. That has been my number one pet peeve at any of these sports games. And how in the hell do they not get it right? Even at launch or whatever, even throughout the season, when you leave a game, it takes forever. This is not an issue getting into the game. This is an issue leaving the game. Like after you're done, you want to, and right now you can't even, it doesn't keep track of your games that you played. I've played like 3 or 4 games and it has a game history tab, nothing.
No. That sound like what we did when we did the franchise online franchise, right?
Right. So like you leave the game and it takes forever. And this is not a hardware issue. This is them trying to cut. This is your game trying to contact the servers, MLB The Show servers, to record the information. And when no one's home, there's no voicemail to leave this information into. And it causes a delay in you getting back to the front end menu. That shit is a problem.
Yeah, they need to fix that. I absolutely agree with that. That makes no sense for that to happen. I don't understand how especially when you're offline, it makes it even worse. Why in the hell the offline stuff is being affected by the online stuff?
And then on top of that, once they figure out that the servers are down, you have to hit the button 3 or 4 times because it repeats the same message. I'm like, yes, I got that shit the first time. Jesus Christ.
That's crazy. Hey, hopefully they'll fix that because honestly, a lot of people Metacritic and a lot of people are like really fussing about that, but not just for like Play Now or franchise. They're talking about it mainly in the road to the show. That's where a lot of people have like their real issues with it, and that's something they need to fix.
That has to do with the fact that they've connected it to Diamond Dynasty.
Right. Yo, I tried it. I tried on Road to the Show. What turned me off was the fact that I didn't even like how it started. You're like some random guy sitting on the. You didn't edit your player to make you look like whatever you want to look like. Yeah, you're just some random guy sitting on the couch, looking at your phone, and then the phone rings. You pick it up, and then they start asking you questions like, "What team you want to play for? Do you want to play in this league? Do you want to play in American League? Do you want to be surprised? Are you from the Dominican Republic?" I'm like, "Yo, what kind of
what type of racist question?"
That's what I'm saying. They ask you questions like they're like, they ask you questions like that, and I was like, I didn't even want to play it at that point. I was like, I'll just go ahead and do franchise mode and just try to play a season. I didn't even want nothing to do with it because it's nothing like how it was before. Because when you first played it back in the earlier games, You start it. You customized your player,
Mm-hmm.
and based on your skill, you was either going to double, triple A, or whatever the case may be, and you work your way up to the big leagues. This is now they try to make it like a My Player 2K experience where it has some type of storyline. Because even the guys from MLB Network start asking you about how good you're supposed to be, why you were drafted at this position, why you was drafted at this time of the draft, or are you worth it? Was you a reach? I'm like, I don't care. Let me just go out to the farm and try to make myself the best baseball player.
Now those are nice additions,
Yeah,
but
no, I'm not saying they're bad.
no,
It's
no,
just
no, 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 no. I got you. But what I'm saying is that when you are starting a mode, when you're getting people, yeah, you're gonna get new people caught onto this mode, but it's not a good start this year versus years past. I'm like the point.
right.
Like, okay, question: Did you know you have a front end that you can make your character edit and do all that
Yeah,
with?
isn't that like the ball player thing or
Yes,
something? See, I didn't
yes.
do that. I went straight to RTTS.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
So
I
you
went straight to
so
Road to
basically
the show.
what they're doing with users this year in 21 is that they're asking you to create your player outside, like as far as like editing. Maybe I don't think it really goes into position, but and then it kind of, this is where the Diamond Dynasty and all this starts working its way in, because you can't even select your position because some of the it has loadouts.
Right, yeah, yeah. They has loadout, and
I'm
then they
just
ask
like
you, do you want to be a pitcher? Do you want to be an outfield? And ask you all these questions. It's like, yeah,
based, but on Road to the Show they ask you those questions, but on your ball player when you're editing there, it doesn't ask you. Obviously, it's not going to ask you those questions, but the loadout and the items that you can pick, your perks or whatnot, will be applied to certain positions and stuff like that. But it'll read either the primary being catcher, second baseman. I'm just like, look, I just want my primary guy to be a shortstop. And I know Bills, he talked about the fact that they throw you can actually sim pass the game that they force you to pitch, and you
right,
can
yeah,
always say no, I don't want to pitch. But then it's just like, if I don't want to pitch in the first place, don't force me to do shit. I don't care
right,
if it's swimming past
exactly.
it, because I want to maintain the integrity of my ball player. So they forced the two-way situation on you at the beginning. They changed the way you start up in the most, it seems like the most unrealistic fashion. I told Bills, I'm not playing Road to the Show this year.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, I'm not doing it either. And a shout out to Bills. Bills just did something pretty huge earlier as
Yeah.
far as his music, man. That's really good. We all knew he had talent, but it's good to see everybody starting to recognize that.
So let me tell everybody, because I told everybody last night, and for those that are here but weren't here last night, he had a song that he sent in to the Jim Cornette drive through. It was episode 188,
Mm-hmm.
and it was one of three songs that were played towards the end of that podcast. And Jim Cornette, he loved it. It was the first time he heard. I'm like, the first two songs, I remember listening to the first two songs, and got the Bills song, and it was just like, man, I'm like, and it was I guess it was one of Jim Cornette's songs that he had in a mixer or whatever that
Right.
he's familiar with, and they liked it. Bills is getting rave reviews, so it's like it's one of those things. I remember he told me a couple of weeks ago that he was trying to get this done, and he got it done. So
Yeah, that's what's up.
congratulations, Bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Because like I
shout out.
said, I mean, ever since we was listening to his music, I was like, yo, like he needs to get the recognition that he deserves, and I always knew in due time that he would be because of his talent. And it's good to see it's being done on a bigger scale where people that are outside of our umbrella actually is able to see it. And now, sky's the limit. No telling what may happen from there. It's like,
Right.
don't just don't let up. And I'm pretty sure he's not. Just continue to do what he do, and hell, before we know it, we'll see him in all other places. So congratulations to Bills, man, for doing this thing. We always knew he had it, and always working. I mean, we're always pushing to see him do and go higher and higher. So that's good to see. Um, let's just go ahead and get into the NFL draft preview part one. We're going to try to do a part two on Tuesday, unless something like crazy happens. We'll talk about that. Um, something in the sports gaming world, something happened. We'll talk about it. But let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, before we get into that, We're going to be doing a draft special on 429. It's obviously a day that we actually stream, do the podcast anyway. But we'll be doing a different type of setup when it comes to the draft and the actual podcast. We'll be talking about what goes on. We have live coverage and reaction, and we're going to get into all of that. So make sure you guys come through and watch us for that. We're going to talk about team needs and franchise changes. Now, we're going to go through the teams, not necessarily in order. We're just going to go through just the teams based on, I guess, alphabetical.
Get Pooh in here.
Why? So we can fuss about the Eagles?
Oh, there's a lot of things he can fuss in, but he wants to come in here. Or he's asking
I understand.
if he wants
No, I ain't got no problem with him in here. I'm just saying that's what he does. He like wanted. Hold on. He want him in here for what? For next Thursday or now? Well, I'm kind of confused.
Who? Which one do you want to come in now? Because or you want to be a part today and Tuesday and part of the draft? Or not part of the draft, but for the draft. Okay, that's what he wants to be a part of the draft. So
because we're already having plans not only to probably have extra people here, we're probably gonna have people to hit the link and call in and give us their thoughts about their teams or whatever. Now we'll get into more of how we're gonna pull that off. We'll get into more detail how we pull that off as people coming in and actually give their 2 cents for a few minutes about what teams or whatever. But Pooh, you're more than welcome to come in next Thursday. Maybe we'll get another.
Also, invitations open to NY Kia. You have the keys.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Working and been MIA for quite some time.
Yeah, the last 2 years we done this, he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was here for the last two drafts.
The first year he just popped up out of nowhere.
I know, right?
Finally. But he'd rather be commenting on some fresh and fit videos.
Yeah, we know where his mind is at. Fresh and fit. All right. So let's start with the 49ers. We're gonna go in alphabetical order. Let's say the team needs for them. They said primary is. Do you have that? You have that link, right? I gave you both of them, right?
See, you done told it yourself.
It's okay. No, we're not gonna put it on the screen. I know I did say that, but forget it.
All right, so it looks like the 49ers. I'm like that. This is kind of easy with the 49ers because quarterback has always been their concern. They've been trying to solve that issue for quite some time. They thought they had it solved, but apparently they don't. So
Shanahan don't like Garoppolo no more.
So see it.
I know, right? So their primary need is they say it's going to be quarterback, and secondary they probably try to get an edge rusher. Well, they got the number 3 pick, so I'm almost certain they're going to go quarterback here. So with that being said, there's already talks about them getting Mac Jones or Justin Fields.
But did you hear the latest news on Justin Fields stuff?
Yeah, about him epilepsy.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
What they're saying is that, for the audience, what they're saying is that he could outgrow it. It's not. It's let me see. It's hereditary. There's my concussion at work. There, it's hereditary, and people in his family have outgrown it. So it's one of those things where it could affect where he gets picked. I'm like, as of right now, he's the number 2 ranked quarterback according to the rankings here. So he would be the first off. He would be the second quarterback off the list.
Yeah, because I think there's no, as far as we kind of know who's going number 1. I mean, that's almost a given.
But
wait a minute.
Could be gun shy. Oh, what are you going to say?
You say he might be the number 2 quarterback, but the Jets just gave up Sam Darnold, though. So he might not be the number 2 quarterback.
No. I'm saying as far as the 40, I said the number 2, like the second quarterback taken in the draft, not the number 2 like backup quarterback. No,
that's what I'm saying. It's like he might not be because the Jets may try to get a quarterback at number 2. 49ers got number 3.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying, though. But they're already saying they're saying that Mac Jones is going to be the pick for the 49ers, which I don't know why, but they're saying that he's a better fit for that team, and they're trying to say he's a better prospect than Justin Fields and Zach Wilson, which I don't believe that either. But that's another story for another day.
So no, but here's the thing. Okay, yeah, if the Jets pick number two, if it's no guarantee that they're going to get Justin Fields because you still got Zach Wilson laying in the is lurking. So
That is
Zach
true, and
Wilson
I
may
don't, I
wind up
don't,
being
yeah,
number two, second quarterback chosen, and
I agree.
then yeah. So I'm like
Yeah,
Justin
because I
Fields
don't,
and
I
Zach
don't see the
Wilson is
Jets
going to
taking
take a
Justin
quick spot.
Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that. So I don't see the 49ers swaying away from that. I don't see them because like the secondary they talking about the secondary need is an edge rusher, and I don't think that there's no edge rusher worth this high of a pick. So I think
Yeah.
they're gonna go quarterback and we'll go from there.
Unless
Uh,
they plan unless they do one of those things where they do position changes and Mika Parsons, they could change into an edge rusher, but I
yeah,
don't see
because
that happening.
I think he's one of those types that's worth that high of a pick, but
But at best, you're talking about number eighth ranked person on here. So
right, and then on top of that, I mean, they could trade back to get him if they wanted to and get more picks. Because I don't think nobody's looking at Michael Parsons after no later than five. Michael
mhm,
Parsons will probably be the person that people start looking at after the fifth pick, maybe
mhm.
six. So they could possibly trade back if they were going to do that. Let's look at the Bears. The Bears is next. They need a quarterback, offensive tackle, wide receiver, and cornerback.
We got well, what number are they picking?
Let's find
Because I'm not
out.
going to get caught like I got caught just now. What number do they have in the draft?
I'm about to find out now. Let's do that because I thought I pulled that up.
Hmm.
Draft
Yeah,
order.
because
Here
I
we
could
go.
honestly, I completely forgot about the Jets picking number two, and I should have known that. So my
Yeah,
bad.
you're good. You're good. You're good. It's
So
all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Let's see. So the Bears are picking. Oh goodness,
they're down there, aren't they?
number
They're like
20.
okay, so number 20. Let's see who's so okay. So one of their okay, their primary needs quarterback, offensive tackle. What they picked up Andy
They
Dalton.
they picked up Andy Dalton, so what that's going to tell me that they're not going to get a quarterback in the first round. They do need one, but I can see them probably trying to get one in the third or fourth round because they're going to take a chance on Andy Dalton for at least a year, maybe two. So I can see where they'll probably get a quarterback later. The main need that they need is probably offensive tackle.
Now I'm looking
And
at two right now between Rashawn Slater and Christian Darrisaw. I don't think they will be in play for Sewell.
no, Sewell is gone. Sewell's
Yeah,
probably going to be gone in the top 10 easily.
right.
So yeah, I'll say offensive tackle, maybe wide receiver, but once again, you can get a wide receiver probably later on in the draft. Cornerback, I don't see them getting a cornerback probably later in the draft either. So I'll say offensive tackle as well. If they're picking at 20, I could see them probably getting Christian Darrisaw, probably Slater. Slater's already slated to be gone before then. And if that's the case, I'll say Darrisaw. Maybe Liam Eichenberg is another one that they could probably pick up. These other two, Tevin Jenkins, Dylan Razum, Dummy Raduns. I don't know too much about him, but I know a good bit about Eichenberg. So I can see them probably picking him up at number 20. But that, because these offensive tackles, I mean, like after Sewell, it's like it's gonna be a big drop. I don't see nobody else is probably picking anybody up. Slater probably be the next one to go before 20, and I
Mm.
think after that, even though they got Jenkins and Redunds up after before Eichenberg, I think Eichenberg is a better offensive tackle than those two guys. But that's just me.
But if they don't go offensive tackle, then if you look at wide receiver, you got Rashad Bateman, you got
Ooh,
Terrence Marshall Jr.
yeah, cause
Uh,
Waddle, Chase, and Devontae Smith are gonna be gone.
yeah,
I don't see that. Yeah, they're
you
gonna be
said the
gone.
Bears. You said the Bears have the 20th pick, so that would
Right,
mean Washington. Obviously, I would know this. They have the 19th pick if they don't make any moves or something like that.
right.
And Washington, obviously they're looking at quarterback. We'll get to them later, but they may go offensive lineman as well. So that's why at least let's see.
It looks like it's gonna be a drop. It's gonna be a drop after Sewell because nobody's even talking
Yeah,
about these other guys. Nobody's
right.
talking about them at all.
So we'll
So I
see.
mean, yeah, but yeah, Rashad Bateman could be there at 20. I'm not really sure.
Hmm.
Don't sleep on Terrence Marshall either. He's pretty good out of LSU, so don't sleep on him as well.
And then also just to go to the next one at cornerback, you got J.C. Horn right there. Who else is
Oh, I
around
know,
there?
I know. Pooh don't want to hear that because Pooh want to pick. They want to pick J.C. Horner for the Eagles, but yeah, I can see him being there at 20 easily. I to be honest with you,
Yeah, and I think the two other corners are going to be gone before the Bears pick, so I'm not
I
even
think so,
entertaining
I think
the other
so
one.
too. But I'm gonna say this, and this may be one of the biggest surprises of the draft.
Hmm.
Caleb Farley is a possibility. He may drop. He may start. He may drop a little bit. I'm not saying that he will, but it's a high possibility because there's not too much buzz around him like it was in the beginning. A lot of people looking at Patrick Surtain, and there's been some talks about Asante Samuel Jr. moving up. So it's basically been Surtain, Horn, and Samuel's been like the top ones they talking about. Caleb
Hmm.
Farley is good, but he's been dropping out of a lot of names when it comes to the actual draft. So I would not be surprised, but I doubted it would happen.
Yeah, because
So
I wasn't even hearing his name
right,
at
that's what I'm
all.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It was in the beginning of the draft. I mean, the beginning of the combine and stuff, and then it just after a while, people just stopped talking about him. It just hasn't been the buzz. It's been more of a buzz of J.C. Horn than Caleb Farley.
Hmm.
Let's jump to the Bengals. This is a no-brainer. They needed a wide receiver. AJ Green is gone. They need somebody to they need somebody else to throw to as far as Joe Burrow. They do need offensive line help, and they
Hmm.
have a really high pick in the draft. I don't think they'll go wide receiver because of this. They do have the number 5th pick. If they do go wide receiver,
They
I
got
see
options.
them taking Jamar Chase. If they do offensive tackle, if Sewell is there, they're probably going to take him.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Well, if Sewell is still there, yeah, I agree. I believe they'll take him, but also they'll have Rashawn Slater and
Yeah,
Christian Darrisaw as your next two options if they want to continue at offensive tackle. Wide receiver, they have their choices. They have plenty of choices.
yeah, they're going to have some
Uh,
choices because I don't think the first 4 teams aren't picking up receivers at all. Maybe the Jets, but I doubt it.
See, and it's funny because just okay, he's number 13 on this list, but what if the Bears go after Devonta Smith? I'm like, they're not. Devonta Smith's the one that they're criticizing his weight compared to
Right.
his size because he's 100. He's lighter than me and slightly taller than me. So he's seriously lighter than me. I'm like at 180, 190
Yeah,
now.
he's at 166. I'm going to tell
Jesus
you right
Christ.
now, I don't see him dropping to 20 because I'm looking at the other teams. You're looking at you're looking at what where am I? The Detroit Lions could use him because they could use him. You also looking at the Los
Oh,
Angeles.
let me address Kablimine. Kablimine, we're not going by draft number. We're actually going by alphabetical order. So we'll call out their draft number as we get to each team, and
Yeah,
we're
we're
just
doing alphabetical. Yeah.
right.
Um.
So
Yeah.
right now we're on
I
the
don't.
Bengals
Yeah. Right now we're on
list.
the Bengals. I don't see him dropping like. I mean, if he drops, somebody's gonna pick him up. Arizona, even though they got a wide receiver corps, New England will probably use him.
Oh, you
The
know what?
Eagles want him badly.
Oh, you
The Las Vegas Raiders like speed.
and
Um,
and I'm forgetting the fact that Burrow is asking for Jamar Chase.
that's what I said. He wants Jamar
Yeah,
Chase. Yeah, he
he's
does
definitely
because
asking for
that. I mean, they played together in college. But I think personally, I think they should go tackle. With the Bengals have the no if Sewell is not there. I mean, if he's there, I think the Bengals will pick him up because Joe Burrow had an injury because he's
yes,
been running for his life.
yeah.
So wide receiver, I think is a no brainer because the more because you know what's his name? Burrow, he thrives with the type of receivers all around him, but if you have no protection, it means nothing. So I
Right.
think either one is a excellent choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Doug Thomas just said, Quaface just said it. He said they don't really need a wide receiver. The Bengals have a good wide receiver
Yeah,
group.
protect
Yeah,
your.
I think the only reason why they would get another one is because of AJ Green left. Because you got T Higgins and you got somebody else there too, and they're actually pretty good. T Higgins actually showed himself to be a pretty good receiver. Quaface said they're going tackle, and Doug Thomas says the Bengals need a line first. I totally agree, but I think it's a no brainer on either one personally. But I would not be surprised if they try to go wide receiver and try to patch up the line later. Is it smart? Probably not. But next we're going to the Bills. The Bills actually have a pretty good, well-rounded team. There's nothing wrong with having more cornerbacks. Probably, and they said they need an edge rusher, wide receiver, and running back. Running back, where are they been? Where are they picking? Where are they picking? They're picking number 30. This is a This is a situation where that Najee Harris will probably get picked. This is probably another situation where what's the other guy out of North Carolina? Jonathan. Oh goodness, what's his name? Oh no, Javonte Williams. He's another one that probably get picked right here. I can see the Bills going running back. Not so much wide receiver. They got a pretty good wide receiver group. Cornerback is a need, but at 30, are you going to take a cornerback, or what if you have a chance to get Najee Harris? And yeah, Tyler Boyd. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, Tyler Boyd is good. That's the other receiver they got for the Bengals.
Yeah, it
What
seems
what
like
what what would you do, DJ? Would you take
it.
Najee Harris, or would you try to take one of these cornerbacks?
Let's see. Najee Harris. For some reason, okay, I see him. Um, no, I probably wouldn't go after Najee Harris. I would probably
Really?
stock up more on that defense, and I would
Okay, that's
actually
interesting.
go edge rusher. I'm like
Okay.
the more pressure you can apply, you could have anybody back there covering. Just the more pressure, the better. And who do I see? I'm talking about at 30th. Uh, Gregory Rousseau. But he's a sophomore though, a redshirt sophomore, so he would be
I would not be
pretty young.
surprised. I would not be surprised if any of these guys are
Mhm.
still available at 30.
Let's see.
Maybe one to be off the board, but I could see all of these guys still being here because I don't
I
see it's not a really big pass rush group that's coming out the draft, so I
mhm.
would not be surprised.
Yeah,
Gregory Rousseau is really good out of Miami as well.
I'm gonna just say surprise drop. And obviously, I'm just going by pure guts here. Aziz Ojolari
Out
from
of
Georgia.
Georgia, yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
I can see him dropping down and being picked at 30.
Yeah, I can see
So
that, and he's actually pretty good too. So that would be a quality pick for them. But me personally, I think just to compliment Josh Allen, I think Najee Harris would be perfect for him.
yeah,
That's just my opinion. Complimentary Sports says Najee Harris. Pete Frenno, good to see you, bro. How you doing?
yeah.
He said, I don't like the idea of taking running backs high in the draft. I'm not a big fan of it either, but Najee Harris has shown that he could play some ball. I mean, I'm not saying that he's Ezekiel Elliott type, but he's almost pretty much damn near there, if not possibly better, because he seems like he's more athletic. And him being picked at 30 is kind of like the sweet spot for running backs in general, because you always want to try to get a running back late in the first round or early in the second round. And I think this is a really good spot for Buffalo to do that. As far as wide receivers, I don't see any decent wide receivers that'll be able to they could pick up in the first round. Because after Rashad Bateman, I don't know any of these other guys. Kadarius Toney, I've seen him play a few games, but I don't know him like that. But I don't even know if he's gonna be I don't know if he's a first round talent. So I'm not really sure about that. But I think Najee Harris here, probably like you said, edge rusher would not be a bad choice either. Because edge rushers are hard to find nowadays. But Najee Harris is just, he's just so dynamic. And I'm looking at all these other teams right now. I don't see any of them possibly
Yeah, I was
picking him
doing the
up.
same thing. That maybe
I
let's
don't.
see. Yeah, because the way the offenses are now these days, running back is not a high priority.
Right,
It
right.
really isn't.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the teams. I don't see anybody that'll probably pick him up. I think him at 30 would be actually a pretty good pick. I think he'd be
Yeah,
a pretty good pick for the Bills,
because
especially
he's
when you got a
still.
quarterback. Especially you got a quarterback like Josh Allen. I think it'd be great,
Mhm.
to be honest. Broncos up next. They're talking about getting a linebacker, cornerback, or a quarterback. The quarterback talk was out for a while, but what happened with the quarterback situation, I think the coach is actually trying to believe in Drew Lock, which I don't know if that's a good idea, but it would not hurt to give him another year, and but put him on a short leash. Linebacker, cornerbacks, first round. I'm not really sure. Michael Parsons, he's coming up at number 9. I think the Broncos at number 9 pick. Yeah, that would be a perfect spot. Michael Parsons would probably still be available for the Broncos. I'm just not a fan of. I don't know. I just don't know with the Drew Lock situation. I don't know. I like him, but I don't know if it's going to be viable when you possibly passing up on better players at the time. Not better players as far as Michael Parsons, but better players as far as really needs. I'm not really sure.
Now, do you think they would pick Michael Parsons based on the fact that they're preparing for Von Miller to eventually depart?
Yes, I can see that. I can
Okay.
see that because even with Von Miller's issues or whatever, he may have maybe 1 year left with them because I don't think he's going to be around no much longer, or they'll probably just get rid of him in general. So
Right.
Michael Parsons would be. I think it'd be a really good pick for them, even though at number 9 you probably still have a chance to get Trey Lance. As far as cornerbacks, I can see a situation with this one where J.C. Horn could go as early as number 9. Patrick Surtain as well. Caleb, any of those top 3, I can see them going this early. Like I said, I'm looking at J.C. Horn before I'm looking at any other 2. Even though Surtain is actually really good. So Preliminary Sports says Drew shows some potential initially. Yeah, he still has some potential now. It's just I'm not. If you have this high of a draft pick and you have a chance to pick another quarterback, because like even after Fields, possibly Wilson, Trevor Lawrence is gone, but yeah, maybe even Mac Jones, you still have a chance to get Zach Wilson, Kyle Trask, which I don't think I don't even know why they got him up here this high. Trey Lance, Kellen Mond has been talked about as well, but I'm not really sure about him. I think he's like a third round quarterback or something like that. Quaface says Parsons. I'm sitting here looking at Parsons as well. I think Parsons will be the pick for the Broncos. They need linebacker help. As far as cornerbacks, we already talked about that. So I think that's almost open and shut at the end of the day. But I do keep that. Like I said, I still keep that opportunity and the inkling that if Trey Lance is on the board, I mean, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Uh,
I'm trying to see as we continue to go through this list. I'm trying to see who else before the Broncos need a linebacker because they could take them as well. So
I think Cincinnati, they need one, but that's the secondary
yeah,
part of
that's
their
the
needs.
secondary and third
The
and
Jet the Jets need everything. So I mean, the Jets need everything, so they could use them. But when you're picking up that high, I think they're going to try to go quarterback first.
oh yeah, that's that.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Detroit could possibly use them as well. I think the Dolphins are pretty good defensively, so they don't really need them. Carolina's a good pick because they just lost
Oh yeah,
Luke
they lost
Kuechly and
Kuechly.
David David what's his name, Thomas Davis. They lost
No,
both of them,
wait a minute,
but
but
they
Thomas.
got Shaq. They got Shaq. Well,
Wait a minute, but Davis was on Washington last year, so they actually lost him a couple
about a
years
year
ago.
and a half, yeah, like 2 years ago. Yeah, you're
Thomas,
right. You're
he
right.
just retired as a Panther, but he was on Washington last year. But he spent the last part of it injured anyway, so he didn't play.
Right. But they could use the linebackers as well. But I don't think they're gonna go for them. I don't think they'll go for part. I can see them picking him, but I think he's gonna fall to the Broncos. I
Mm-hmm.
think he'll go fall to the Broncos. Browns, edge rusher, interior defensive lineman, wide receiver, cornerback. I don't think they need an edge rusher anymore. They got
They're good there.
Yeah, they're good there. They just got Myles Garrett and they just picked up Jadeveon Clowney, which you could still make that. You probably could make a argument that they may still need an edge rusher because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But they did get both of them. Interior defensive linemen, I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm trying to figure out who is all there. Uh, hmm.
yeah,
And
I'm not
what?
really sure like what defensive tackle that's gonna because the Browns pick what.
Because the highest that's ranked on here is Levi and let's see, Anwuzurike. I hope
Yeah, I
it.
don't
I
see any of
probably
them. I don't see any of them to actually get picked that high. Not interior defensive lineman. They'll probably go with a cornerback. I would guess.
Yeah, because you have great. What's their draft number again? Because I'm looking
I'm
at
looking to
Greg.
see. I don't even know. Do they have a first round pick? Oh yeah, they're number 26. They
Okay,
picked
so you're talking
26.
about like Greg Newsome. Let's see, J.C. Horn.
JC's
Uh,
gone. JC's gone by number 26.
you think so?
Yeah, I think JC Horn's gonna be going by number 26.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I
but
think he's
but
going
he's
at.
but he's still a possibility if he's not gone by then. Once if he's still there, then they'll probably go after him instead of the other guy. Like I said, the highest interior defensive lineman they have that's on here is Levi. So, but there's not a lot of them, at least in this top 50. Well, it's like another one, but you're talking about second rounders that you're going after in the first, possibly.
Hold on one second.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna text my wife for a second.
Gotcha. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. I'm like, you still got. See, with the injury last year at wide receiver, I wouldn't be surprised if they did go wide receiver. I'm trying to figure out who would they what. You got Kadarius Toney. You got Terrence Marshall Jr. There's still Rashad Bateman. I mean, there's all these possibilities.
Let me look here and see. Say, Complimentary source sports says the Browns are straight. I'm crazy. What I do? Yeah, I just said that. I said JC Horn will be gone. What are you talking about? Something wrong with that boy. Christian Barrymore. I don't know who that is. Let me look. What? I don't even know who that is.
Christian Barrymore, interior defensive lineman from Alabama.
For Alabama. Okay.
Redshirt sophomore. So
I'm looking at him right now.
mhm.
At number 26.
It would complement their edge
Yeah,
rushers.
that do make
But
sense.
you're
I can
talking
see
about
that.
what you talking about at this point, you're reaching for people that would probably be in the second round, and we're looking at like what they're gonna do in the first round. Because when we go live next week,
Because
it's gonna be
I
the
think,
first round.
but this one here is more of a need.
Right.
They're not picking on they're picking based on need and based on what I see. If they need that and Barrymore is there, I can see and at what 26. I think this is a good one. This is a good run. That's a good pick right there.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. Let me go check on my wife real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, so let me go to the chat real quick as we continue on. So, what are you guys talking about in the chat? Okay, so and unfortunately I can't highlight anything in the chat, but let's see what you guys are talking about. I know Doug had brought out Christian Barrymore, uh, Pooh with the shade, talk about you crazy VF, fuck you talking about, and then let's see, Pooh again with the JC Horn will be gone well before that. He probably will be gone well before that. And since we are talking about the Browns, Subliminary asks, how is their. All right, Subliminary, you're killing me. You're seriously killing me. There. I don't know if it's I before the E, but it's not there, like in location. There, as in possess. Okay. You're killing me, Subliminary. But their Browns offensive line, they were steady, I don't believe they had real issues of their quarterback getting hit or sacked a lot, but you could always use depth. But I don't think you're gonna, as far as that would be like a second to like usually your good linemen pop up around the third, like for depth, talking about like your third rounders and stuff like that. So you probably wouldn't see them pick up offensive linemen until that time if they have a third round pick. So Pooh just said he will be gone around 16 to 18, a top 10 talent that's good. That good don't last in the 20s. Well, could be true. Unless we have a tonsil problem. This is coming from Spectacular Pooh, so yeah, that could be an issue as well. So, what else is going on in the Browns? Now, I pointed out wide receiver because of the injury to Odell Beckham Jr. And he had the ACL injury, and you're talking about a person that he's not a spring chicken. He's not old, but he's not young either. And he's coming off an ACL injury. Or was it ACL or Achilles injury that he suffered that knocked him out last season? So you definitely need somebody to complement him and Landry and possibly replace Beckham, because I know there were rumors like a while ago talking about Beckham was on the trading block, or not the trading block, but teams were requesting to see whether we could, whether teams could, put in a trade for Beckham Jr. So we'll see how that works. All right, BF's back.
Yeah, I'm back. I had to it's weird. The internet downstairs wasn't working, but it's working up here. It's like really weird. So I had to fix that real quick.
Okay, just one last thing, real quick.
Go ahead.
Says he think it was an ACL. I was talking about Odell Beckham's injury.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it was something like that. He tore something, or he was out for like the whole year. Right. But now I think the interior defensive lineman would be a really good move for them at 26. I'm with that more I look at that. Buccaneers, the entire staff that was on the offense, what is it? The offense or the entire team came back? That was in the Super Bowl.
The entire team is back.
Yeah, so they're all back. They're saying they need a wide receiver or edge rusher
because they haven't signed what's his name, Brown. They haven't signed him back yet.
Really? I thought they did.
They may have. Somebody in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, but last I remember, they hadn't brought. They may have brought him back on a 1-year deal, but that would be the most they would bring him back for.
I think they'll go edge rusher here, though, because even though they have pretty decent ones, their edge rushers are a little old.
So we're talking about they should be in 32, right?
Yeah, they're 32.
Their first rounder. So we're talking about. We're gonna start repeating names because
yeah.
So we're talking about Gregory Rousseau again.
Yeah, Patey's gonna be gone. I think Patey's gonna be. Phillips is probably gonna be gone too.
Maybe
the first, like you said, Rousseau will probably be. Tryon. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they pick Tryon.
You got Owe right there, Jason Owe.
Yeah, Jason Owe would be another one.
And they're looking at
one or two of these guys up here could possibly fall. But I'm looking at Joe Tryon. I think Tryon will be the move for them if they do decide to go edge rusher. Now, mind you, if they don't even go to whatever they need, they may go to best player available. I would not be surprised if they do try to take a running back. I would not be surprised.
I could see them trading mid-season one of their running backs.
But not only that, just have more of a running back by committee in general. I could see them probably going with Michael Carter or probably going with Travis Etienne and probably try to get him long term, because I think what's his name? Leonard Fournette only signed a 1-year deal.
See, and that's what I'm saying, that's setting up that they could trade him mid-season, or they could possibly trade him before the season. And because as far as running back by committee, I know Washington, we did the same thing, but it was basically 2 with the third only coming in on short yardage situations. So it's just like, are you going to set that? Are you setting that up in Tampa as you got your 2 running back tandem and somebody's coming in short? Or are you working them all in at all phases of the game? And that's pretty difficult to do for all.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I do see it happening where they probably can get a running back, probably move somebody because they don't really need any other needs to be honest. I mean, you can also see them possibly trying to get just beef up their defense and get somebody else that just rotate on the defensive line or the front seven. Um, so they're pretty good. Now this is another thing
Mhm.
nobody talked about. This is another thing. What if they go quarterback?
They should go quarterback, honestly.
That's
Like
another because you're
this.
playing. I mean, Tom Brady's going to be playing. So with that being said, Tom Brady's going to be sitting. I mean, he's not going to be sitting. He's going to be playing for at least another 1 to 2 years. You get a
Right.
quarterback just sit behind him, and once Brady's gone,
Mhm.
you got a quarterback already in waiting. So I would not be surprised at that as well.
Yeah, because right now Ryan Griffin is the backup.
Who?
Exactly. I knew that was. That's why I brought it up.
So now you're not. Now you're probably looking at. Let's check this out.
Hmm.
Now, say if they did go quarterback, now you're looking at a Kellen Mond. You looking at a Kyle. I keep saying Kyle Trash. I don't think this guy's gonna be good in the NFL.
Kyle Trash.
Yeah, I don't think the way that he played in that game, man, that was like what?
Mm.
Um, Trey Lance.
See, I put my clicker right on his name.
Trey Lance could probably drop that far.
He
Um,
could,
I'm thinking
because
of Kellen Mond, Trey Lance, Sam Ellinger from Texas is okay. I've seen. I mean, he beat up on the Bulldogs at one bowl game. I watched that game. That was a pretty good. He played pretty good there.
what
Felipe
about
Franks is not a bad one either. Felipe Franks used to be a Florida Gator, and he actually was. I thought he was better than Kyle Trask.
okay? What about Mac Jones?
Mack is gone. The 49ers are probably gonna get him at number 3. I
See,
don't see him drop. I don't see him dropping that far. Not the
hmm,
32. He's too of a hot commodity. His name is already out there. They're already talking about Mac Jones going to number 3 to the 49ers or possibly even number what is it? Possibly even number 9 to the Denver Broncos if he drops that far.
mm,
If he don't drop, then like I said, they're going to probably go linebacker. But if you got Drew Lock and Mac Jones is sitting there, they're probably going to take Mac Jones.
hmm.
So I don't see him dropping that far. Do
Oh,
I think Mac Jones is overrated? I will say this. I think Mac Jones is the best quarterback that came out of Alabama in a long time because Alabama, people don't realize Alabama's never really been known for their quarterback play.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, who remember Blake Sims? You know what I'm saying? Who remember John Parker Wilson?
Yeah, that
You know,
would.
who was the other guy that was there?
Yeah, that would require a high IQ.
Right. Oh goodness, who was there? Greg McElroy. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What makes him so different? He's actually a pro-ready quarterback. These other guys were not. They were pro-style quarterbacks. Two different things.
Yeah,
Those John Parker was they were John Parker Wilson was a pro-style quarterback. Blake Sims, I don't even know where they got him from. Greg McElroy, he was a pro-style quarterback, but he went to the Chiefs, and you never heard from him again. John Parker Wilson was another one. I don't even know where he went to.
yeah. I swear, all these other Bammer, speaking like my grandmother, all these Alabama past quarterbacks would be better off playing duck hunt than reading defenses in the NFL. Just
Right, like Mac Jones actually showed that to me. And I don't want this to sound crazy, but in some cases, I felt Mac Jones was better than Tua. Because the thing about it, Mac Jones actually had to do some decision making when he had to throw the ball to some of these players. I know, oh, yeah, AJ McCarron is another one. Exactly. Where is he?
yeah, exactly. Who?
Right, exactly. Um, when you looking at like Tua didn't really have to make decisions. Tua just slung the ball. He just had an arm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Mac Jones actually had to make decisions when it come to some of these. I mean, you saw it when Jason Waddle went down. When
See
Jason
that
Waddle went down, he actually had to make decisions of throwing the ball to certain players.
now
Like
and
with
then.
what's his name? I'm gonna let you talk in a second. Hold on. Like when Devontae Smith started to catch fire, that was later in the season for the most part. When Waddle went down early, he actually had to throw the ball around to other players, and he actually had to make throws that made sense. Tua just had to throw the ball up. I mean, you got guys like what's his name, Jarrett Judy, and what's the guy that played for the Raiders right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I can't remember his name. I use the franchise and I can't even think of his name right now. Henry Ruggs.
And also
You got Henry Ruggs. You got guys like that runs like 4.2s. I mean, just throw it up there. And and it's not a knock on Tua. It's just that look at the proof is in the pudding now. Look at him in the pros.
And then here's the thing, I'm rooting for Tua to do well, but if you think about it, there are currently two young. I would still consider him an Alabama quarterback, even though he finished at Oklahoma. You got two young quarterbacks that are going to struggle because they're being asked to do things that they weren't asked of. That wasn't asked of them while they were in college. So it's going to be a crazy situation with those two.
Right. And like I said, it's not a knock on him. It's just that it's not a knock on him at all. It's just that when you see the weapons that he had and you got somebody who can throw the ball the way that he throws it, I mean, it's almost like go run as fast as you can. I'm gonna throw the ball to you. That right there doesn't get you far in the NFL for the most part. I mean, I think it worked with one person, Randy Moss. You know what I'm saying?
And it doesn't help that Tua was like, "Oh, this is easier than I thought." Like, guess again.
Right. So, but Mac Jones, he's actually a decision maker. That's one thing they were saying about him in the combine. They were saying like, his pro days. Like, he actually can make decisions. He has better footwork. He's moving around. He's making all these different type of throws. That's why I say I don't think he's going to be at 32. He's going to be gone. Complimentary ask, so is Justin Field going to succeed in NFL?
Ohio State doesn't have a good history.
Yeah, Ohio State don't have a good track record, but I will say this. With the success of Jason Allen, and you got guys like Ben Roethlisberger, if he could just be accurate. If he could just be accurate, I think he'd be all right.
Josh Allen? You said
Did
Jason.
I say Jason? Yeah, Josh Allen. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I said John, then Josh. Jason. I'm all over the place. But if he just could be accurate, I think he'd be all right as far as him succeeding. The problem with a lot of tall quarterbacks is that they're inaccurate because they're so tall. That's why you didn't see Ryan Mallett do so well because he's like 6'7". And I don't think, matter of fact, Justin Fields not that tall. He's only 6'3". So he should be all right. I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to be okay. I don't think he's going to be like this world beater generational quarterback like some people think he's going to be. But I think he's going to be okay. Speaking of generational quarterbacks, Pete said that Lawrence is overrated. I don't think he's a generational prospect. I tend to agree with you there, but I think he's going to be a solid quarterback. I don't see it either. One thing about Trevor Lawrence that did surprise me that at 6'6" he can move. Like he can actually scramble, so that's going to help him a lot. But it's yet to be seen for him to be like this guy that's going to turn around the Jaguars. I don't see that. Not right now, anyway. What's the next team after the Buccaneers? The Cardinals.
First of all, we got Antonio in here.
What's going on, Antonio? Didn't even see him. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. And thank you, everybody who's here. You guys are the best. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us talk about the NFL draft and everything under sports and sports gaming. If you guys don't mind, if you haven't already, click the like button, share the video, let people know what we're doing over here. Because we're trying to get 12 viewers up to 15 and 15 up to 20 and 20 up to 25. And then when those guys come in, they can talk about nothing and we can roast them. So go ahead and get those guys up in here. Let's see. The Cardinals, cornerback, linebacker, wide receiver, interior offensive lineman. What's his name? Just retired. Fitz just retired. I don't know if they necessarily need a receiver because you got DeAndre Hopkins, but I can see why they will.
Just bring in another receiver.
They just got AJ Green. You're right.
Yeah.
They just got AJ Green.
Yeah, so that's why wide receiver probably the last thing they need. Peterson is reaching the end of his rope at corner. So,
did Patrick Peterson get picked up by the Vikings or something?
Yeah. So
I'm about to say I heard that somewhere.
Yeah. So he's Oh boy. So
Where the
and
Cardinals are
they
picking? Cardinals
drafted
are picking in the middle road in number 16.
and they drafted that linebacker. Well, it was a hybrid they drafted last year because they had a high draft pick last season. So they.
Right, and they got J.J. Watt as well.
Hmm.
Um,
So I would go
this
with
is
that.
where I see a cornerback goes.
Okay, what and where are they picking?
16. So
Oh, so they got a good. They got a
yeah,
good
Farley.
selection.
I can see they may pick up Farley because J.C. Horn. Well, hey, wait a minute. J.C. if he's still there, definitely, but I think he's gonna be gone by then. I think
Sertan.
Sertan's gonna be gone. So I see where Farley, Newsome.
Hmm.
I don't know too much about Eric Stokes, maybe, but I think is um I'll say Farley, Newsome, or Asante Samuel Jr. I think they go cornerback here.
Yeah, I think they go corner as well. I think they need to. I'm like with the type of offense that they run, they could literally score very quickly. So
I'm not sure about edge. I'm not gonna say edge. I'm not sure about linebacker too much because they just picked up
yeah, that's what I was saying
JJ
earlier.
Watt. I'm not sure about that.
Well, not just
And they
that, this
got
rookie they have last year.
yeah, they got him, and they got somebody else.
Hmm.
They got another person at linebacker too. That's I think he's an edge rusher. But never mind. They got a pretty good front seven. Interior offensive lineman at 16.
He
Uh,
better be starting because that's you pick somebody that high, at 16 for offensive
yeah,
lineman.
I don't see nobody that's worth picking up. They could probably turn back around and get somebody later.
Yeah, because you don't
Second,
really
third.
have. Gone are the days. It seems like you're. Are you hearing a top rated lineman that could go in the top five like your Trent Williams? Shoot. Well, obviously they're coming from
Orlando Pace,
Orlando Pace. Yeah. Trying to figure out some other. I'm
Russell
trying to.
Okung.
Right. I'm trying not to include the Washington picks because there were three of them that were talked about heavily before they were drafted.
Yeah,
So
I think the last ones that was like that was like it was Fisher from
yeah.
for Kansas City, and I'm not even trying to be a homer
What
because
about
he
the
didn't.
dude from Cleveland? He was
Yeah,
heavily talked.
Joe Thomas was another one. I'm not even trying to be a homer, but he didn't even pan out as these guys that we named. But like Jake Matthews was a first round pick. I think
Yeah, that was actually name recognition.
yeah, that was name recognition, and I'm not saying he had a bad career, but I don't think he was worth he was like number 8 overall or something. Like, I don't think he's worth that because he's still on the Falcons now, but he hasn't. I don't think he panned out to be like a number 8 type pick. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like he's one of those guys that you could have probably got late in the first round, or hell, middle of the second round type. And
Right.
that's just the type of production that we got from him in Atlanta. So.
Mhm.
I see them going cornerback in the first round. I don't see any interior offensive lineman that's worth a pick in the first round. They'll
Right.
probably get one later on in the draft. I don't see it. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, they seem as far as like interior linemen, they seem okay, but like I said, they can always use more depth.
Yeah, always on the offensive line,
Yes,
always.
always.
Chargers are next. Edge rusher, safety, cornerback, offensive tackle. The Chargers are picking number 13. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
they got.
interesting
Hmm.
because I can see them possibly picking up Slater if Sewell is gone. I can see them going to pick him or Darisaw. I think this is one of the situations where that happens. One of these top 3 that they have up here, or they'll be gone, or whatever the case may be. Well, I'll say Slater and Darisaw will probably still be there,
Hmm.
and I think that's where we'll see one of them go. As far as edge rushers,
Got Jalen Phillips right there.
Jalen Phillips, Gregory
Uh,
Rousseau. But
Aziz.
at 13, I don't see them picking one up at 13.
Yeah, again, young quarterback. He did well in his rookie year. They need to protect him.
That's why I
And
say offensive line. That's why I say
right.
that offensive line. Yeah, I don't see them going edge rusher. I'll see them going offensive tackle easily, but I just don't know which one. Safety, cornerback. I don't see no safeties worth in the first round either. I'll see them probably getting a safety in the second or third round. Probably later than that. Depends on who's still around. They still got Richard LeCount out of Georgia. He's actually pretty good. It's another name that I thought I saw that's up here. Now I think that's the only one that I know. Oh, Hassam Nas Ruladine from Florida State. I think I said that right. Well, anyway, he's pretty good. I can see them getting him in the second round as well. Chiefs, defending AFC champions.
Offensive tackle. They had to go
Definitely
by
offensive tackle.
linemen because they
Definitely
got
offensive tackle.
shredded.
They did sign a couple of them, but hell, nah, they still going to get that.
Yeah, they got shredded with injuries and just piss poor performances. So
It's possible I can see them going with a receiver because I think they lost Sammy Watkins or something like that.
oh yeah,
I can
because
see,
Watkins is in Baltimore now.
yeah, I can see them possibly going wide receiver as well. Now you're looking at number 31 pick. Um, I don't know.
Probably like Lim at Eichenberg from Notre Dame.
Eichenberg, yeah, I can see them getting him
Yeah,
from Notre Dame.
and he's long, and you would need him to start
Yeah,
because
right away.
because he first of all he's a fifth year senior. He was a fifth year senior, so he's
Right.
been there. He's of age. He should be mature enough to make that transition real quick. And
I'm gonna put this up here. I was gonna type it out, but I'm gonna put it up here.
gotcha.
Complimentary Sports said, after difficult days, this is nice. Hey man, I'm glad that we're able to provide a good service for you, man. We really appreciate that. That's awesome. That you come to us after a long day and we try to keep it we try to keep it relaxing and just a change of pace of all the hustle and bustle, man. Really appreciate that. Oh, I didn't forget about this right here. Pete Frenner said, "Oh yeah, he's definitely worthy of number one, but no way he's Luck status coming out to me." Man, if Andrew Luck didn't get hurt, bro, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I agree with you on that. Spec Pooh says, "How about Devontae Smith?" Yeah, Devontae Smith to be fine. Let me tell you what they're going to do with Devontae Smith real quick. Devontae Smith is going to come into the NFL. They're going to put pounds on him. They're going to make him beef up. He's not going to be running around in the NFL at 160. He's going to get up at least 180, 190. I
Right.
can promise you that.
Yeah,
They're not going. I don't care who he gets drafted by. They're not going to let him run around as a wide receiver at that type of at that weight. They're not going to do it. So he's going to be fine.
yeah,
So we
because
need to. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say because that's usually a situation where like how did they allow him to get away with being that underweight in college? Because usually, okay, because when I went to Frostburg for the one semester that I went there, I was already at like 150, but that was like the high end of because I have a high metabolism. Because that's one of the questions that they have about Devonta Smith is that
Right.
is he have an extremely high metabolism? Is he not eating? Did he not lift any weights? Or did he just rely purely on his athleticism? And one of the things that typically happens when you go from high school to college is that you get fed. You get put in a weight room, you do all types of training that you never did when you were in high school, unless you went to one of these top ranked public high schools, predominantly in Florida, Texas, California, maybe Pennsylvania, or went to a private school like the Matha in Maryland and other private schools around the country. So that is crazy that he went that long without any type of situation to address his just weight. But if he's solid, if he's low, because a lot of times athletes relatively keep the fat composition low. He could be like he straight lean at 166.
Right.
It may work for him. He may be incredibly strong at 166. So
Could be. I know they're gonna make an attempt to get him up to at least 180. They're gonna make an attempt at that.
Did he do the 225? What was his,
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it though.
Yeah, because that's the one thing that I would like to know for him being that, because there are a lot of people that at 166 could bench press 225. You may not hear about it. I'm like, I worked at a gym for for 10 years, so I've seen a bunch of them do it. So
Right. That is gonna be interesting to see. Next team is the Colts. Offensive tackle, cornerback, wide receiver. You got Carson Wentz over there. You got a couple of receivers over there. Their defense is good already. Offensive line has gotten better as well, so they don't have the same offensive line they had when Luck was there because Luck was running for his life.
And their defense is pretty good. Like
So
already.
I'm not saying this is a team with no weaknesses, but I don't think this is a team with needs.
Hmm.
So I don't know where they're going to go here. Probably this looks like a situation they may go best player available.
Right. And guess who's here? Guess
It's
who's
cute
about to.
Ladybug. Good to see you.
Hey,
How are
what's up?
you? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Glad you're in
Colts
good
are
spirit.
picking number 21. I think they
Hmm.
just go best player available. And then I don't even know where to go with that because that could be anybody. They say they need an offensive tackle. Maybe they get the best offensive tackle on cornerback. And that, you never can have enough corners. I can see that. But receivers,
You,
once
you
again, you're
can't.
just giving firepower to Carson Wentz either way.
He needs a ton of firepower because his biggest problem, it seems like receivers could. While he was in Philly, was that the receivers weren't getting open, and well, definitely in Philadelphia, their protection was lacking. But he'll have protection. Now he just needs more weapons. So let's see. I'm gonna say maybe Bateman, maybe Marshall
At
Jr. out of LSU,
21, I can see
possibly.
Bateman and Marshall. Bateman may get
Darius
picked.
Tony. Those are like the three options.
Yeah, Bateman may get picked up before him, but I do see Marshall. Marshall's a possibility. Kadarius Tony is another one, but he's a little small, so they may not pick him that high. But I can see Bateman and Marshall. Rondell Moore,
Yeah, and De'Ami Brown. Hmm.
I think Terrence Marshall might be the move. I think he'll still be there, and they'll
Right.
pick him up. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think this is gonna be more. I think this would be more of a best player available situation because Colts don't necessarily have like a need or whatever for the most part. Let's jump to the Cowboys.
Oh
Cornerback,
boy.
offensive tackle, edge rush, tight end. Everybody's saying that. I heard a lot of people saying that the Cowboys they picked number 10. They're saying they're going with Patrick Surtain the second. What are your thoughts, DJ?
Um, I don't suggest anybody for this plantation. They can skip this whole draft as far as I'm concerned. But okay, so all bias aside, yeah, the name I keep hearing is Patrick Surtain. It with the defensive coordinator that they have now,
Yeah,
they say pretty much they're building up that defense to possibly be a threat in the NFC East, which is not going to take much, seeing that my team finished 7-9, won the division, but we already have the best defense in the NFC East. So they're trying to get to where we're at, and they're actually trying to use the same formula that we are using. So yeah, I would definitely, and especially for the fact that we just loaded up a receiver. Yeah, they need to load up a corner. So that's
yeah, that's what I
two
say. I
things.
think Surtain is going. I think this is the pick where Surtain goes. I'm looking at offensive tackle. Yeah, they could use it, but I doubt they'll go right here. I think, like I said, I think defense is more of a need for them. They'll probably go edge rusher later on in the draft. Probably get a offensive tackle later. Tight end definitely. Unless Kyle Pitts drops to them, which I doubt. Even if Kyle Pitts drops to them, I think they're still going to go cornerback because I think it's a bigger need for them than the tight end. But I think they'll probably go tight end later on, fourth, fifth round. They'll probably pull a tight end from there.
Being a plantation at all, they probably got plenty of tight ends.
Dolphins. They said the only thing they need is a wide receiver as primary. Secondary is edge rush, running back, linebacker, wide receiver. Dolphins pick number. Didn't they move? Yeah, they're number 6. So
Number
with them
six.
being at number 6, I think this is where.
Mm,
Shit, I think this is where Devontae Smith goes.
either that or Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, him and
We haven't
Waddle.
even
Because
mentioned
they,
his name.
they haven't even mentioned his name possibly because of injury. But I see
Hey,
Waddle. I see Waddle go. Not these are two guys from Alabama.
yeah.
Waddle and Smith are those are his guys he played in college. So I see one of them going at 6, possibly Smith because he's the Heisman Trophy winner.
Right.
So I see Smith is going there, and everything else probably a running back later because they just lost Matt Breida. He went to the Bills,
Mhm.
and yeah, yeah, all right, yeah, that's gonna be later rounds or whatever. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the Eagles.
Okay.
Eagles wide receiver, tight end, cornerback, safety.
They need to
I'm gonna put
stop
Pooh's.
going after receivers. They need to stop.
Pooh says, since I know you're getting close to the Eagles, either Horn or Smith. Really depends on where the Lions or Giants go. Smith is gonna be going at 12. I don't see Smith is gonna be around that long. It's a possibility, but I don't see it. Let's see. As far as cornerback, I see J.C. Horn. I do see that. Also, let me see the other cornerbacks. Yeah, because Dallas is going to pick up. I think they're going to pick up Patrick Surtain. So I think J.C. Horn is going to be gone for. I think he's going to be going to the Eagles. I don't see anybody else that they could possibly get. Wide receiver possibly, but all the good. I ain't gonna say the good ones, but all the premier wide receivers are going to be gone.
Right, and they have a good set there. It's just a more seasoning they need, because they just couldn't get open last year, and the people that were supposed to be nurturing these rookies were injured half the season. And like I told Pooh, Deshaun Jackson, who now is in LA, was mentally checking out in every single game he played in. So
Right. Pooh said he might pick up Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. I'm not sure about that. He's too far down. You got other good players at before. You got Asante Samuel probably still sitting there.
but they do need depth there now.
Yeah, they do. So I think if you're going to get Tyson Campbell at 12, that's a reach. You could get Tyson Campbell in the second round. Yeah. I think I don't think he's. I ain't gonna say I don't think he's first round talent. I just think I don't think nobody's looking at him until the second round, probably third round.
See, I'm kind of shocked that I know it's secondary, interior offensive lineman, offensive tackle. I would think that would be a primary, because that was an issue last year with the Eagles, that protecting the quarterback, whether it
offensive
was
line. Yeah,
whether it was Wentz or whoever. I keep on forgetting who came in later and now supposedly the starter. That's how much respect I have for him. I don't even remember his name. Maybe that's.
He said, "Don't be surprised if the Eagles trade up for Marshall." Marshall, who?
Talking about let's see, Terrence Marshall Jr. from LSU. I was looking at that
wide receiver.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I'm not sure. I'm not.
Because they posted clips of the Minnesota Vikings laughing at the Eagles for picking who they picked, so they was able to pick Jefferson. So they don't want to make the same mistake.
Okay. Doug Thomas said Tyson Campbell. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the other chat, not the YouTube chat. So that's why the avatars look similar. If you're not really paying attention, my bad. But they trade up for I don't think the Eagles are doing any more trading. Not after everything they've done. I don't see that. I just think the Eagles here, they go cornerback. I see that.
I would rather see them get an offensive lineman, because they need to protect.
But you're right, though. No, you're right. I think offensive lineman is a need, but I think as far as dynamic player, I think they go with J.C. Horn. Do I agree with it? No, because they do need a better offensive line. So we'll see.
Yeah, because how long is Lane Johnson gonna last? They had to deal with Jason Peters' bloated ass, bloated on the field, bloated in the pockets too, as far as money and that contract. And just he made that switch from offensive tackle to guard, and it was a failed experiment, just gone wrong. He should have just retired before the season started.
Let's jump to the Falcons. All right, this is my team. They say tight end is the priority need. I don't see that. You got Hayden Hurst at tight end, who's actually pretty decent. They got him from a trade from the Ravens. Mm-hmm. I think they're saying this because of Pitts is there. It'll probably be there number 4. And I don't have a problem with them picking him. But if I was to guess, like, as far as what they need, personally, I would not be against getting Najee Harris at number 4, even though that's extremely high. But we do need a running back. We did get Mike Davis, but I think they should get him. But that's extremely high. Also, I could see them picking a quarterback at number 4. I would like to see either or. Don't worry about the tight end right now, and go get a quarterback right now for the future. Sit behind Matt Ryan 1 or 2 years, and turn around and get a running back, probably like Javonte Williams out of North Carolina in the second round.
No,
So that's what I would do. But I'm not 100% sure if this is a good move for them to get a tight end. Kyle Pitts is nice. He's a beast. I get it. And I don't know if he's that type of player, a tight end that you get number 4 overall. I'm not really sure. Cornerback is another need as well. But like I said, you're picking at number 4. I don't know if you'll reach. If you're going to get a cornerback, you might well just trade back, get more picks, and get the cornerback that you want.
Mm-hmm.
But you got any thoughts about that? I think I just said everything I wanted to say from there.
As far as the quarterback situation, are you sure Matt Ryan would want to babysit for a year? It's because obviously the quarterback that they if they get a quarterback, they probably wouldn't go. They would have to go at. They're picking number 4, correct?
Right.
They would have to go for. I could see that. I could see this as a shock. He would actually be good for the city. Trey Lance as a shocker.
I can see that, but I'll give you one better. I think Justin Fields would be better for the city because he's from Atlanta.
That's true, but I think the whole health scare is gonna push them more towards Trey than Justin Fields.
I'm not opposed to it, but my thing is, at the end of the day, if they do it, I think Matt Ryan's days are numbered. He'll probably be there for one more year. Mm-hmm. And I'm not opposed to that at the end of the day. I like Matt. I think Matt still has probably maybe 3 more years, but when you want to do something dynamic, you want to start, not necessarily start over, but if you want to keep your franchise moving in the right direction, you don't want to wait till Matt Ryan is on his last leg. You have a situation like Drew Brees, and now the Saints are sitting there wondering like if Jameis or Taysom Hill is going to be running the show. And you don't want to have that issue. Now, that's not a knock on Jameis Winston, because I think Jameis would be all right, but you still don't want to have that situation where you have to go through that. Giants, wide receiver, edge rusher, cornerback. They just picked up a good bit of cornerbacks. I don't see them going corner again. Wide receiver, maybe. They picked number 11.
But they picked up a decent wide receiver.
They did. You're right.
They picked up, but more weapons is good. I'm not opposed to them getting another wide receiver.
Javion Dillingham, how you doing? Good to see you, bro.
Hey,
everybody's doing well over here, man. Good to see you.
Yep. Well, minus the concussion I suffered, but other than that,
yeah, right. Giants possibly go edge rusher. What if Micah Parsons slips to them? They're only at number 11.
Because that would complement Leonard Williams.
That's what I'm saying. He's only at number 11. They're only at number 11.
And they were literally one game. Well, everybody was like one game out from winning the NFC.
Right.
But they're the ones that got mad at Philly because Philly threw the game in the second half.
Right. So you like I'm saying, I would not be surprised because their secondary need is linebacker. Mm-hmm. And they saying like Michael Parsons is the type of guy that could play anywhere outside the interior defensive line.
And
so
that's I was about to say that's a situation where I'm not saying the guy's a Chase Young, but he's like Chase Young light.
Right. So I would not look easily if Michael Parsons is still there at 11. They're going to pick him. I don't see if Denver Broncos find out they want to get a quarterback instead. If the who else? Carolina's not going to go after them. Detroit, no. Yeah, Micah could go to New York. I would not be surprised, even though their needs are saying otherwise.
And Penn State is known for their linebackers, so
yeah, Patey's another one. Yeah, Doug Thompson said Patey's another one that could drop to them
right there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's another good. That'll be another good pick. Now, I will say this: they will pick him if Parsons gone. If Parsons is still there, I almost guarantee that they will pick him up. I guarantee they'll pick Parsons over Patey. And it's not a knock on Patey. It's just that the fact that Parsons like damn near like a freak of nature right now based on what we've seen. Mm-hmm. Do we really need to go to the Jaguars? I mean, no knock on King David if he's here or not, but we already know who they're picking, right?
There's no point.
All right, Jets. They need a quarterback too since they got rid of Sam Darnold. Do we really need to go here as well?
Well, we kind of did go back and forth because that was the one where they could go either way. But we've already discussed those quarterbacks that could be going to them. So
yeah, because kind of indirectly talked about them via talking about other teams.
Yeah, like as we get to these other teams, like I mentioned before, there's gonna be a lot of crisscrossing of names,
right?
And repetitiveness. So just stick with us.
Doug Thomas says Zach Wilson to the Jets. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I can see that.
And that's what I was saying earlier, just in case. And that was me trying to just get out of my own cobwebs, as far as who would be the second quarterback chosen in the draft versus, who would go where. So
right. Next, Lions. They need a wide receiver, cornerback, offensive tackle. They got Justin Goff at quarterback, so I don't know who they got at wide receiver.
Jared Goff.
You said right. Did I say? I thought I said Jared. I'm sorry.
Well, either way, he doesn't earn the right to be called Jared. You can call him wherever you want until he earns that right. So, wide receiver, they're picking number what? Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. They're picking number 7. Yeah, they could throw a monkey wrench into a lot of these other teams' plans at wide receiver.
I'm about to say, yeah, I just thought about that. Wait a minute, because let's say if the Dolphins go say if the Dolphins go wide receiver, the Bengals go wide receiver. So let's just say the Bengals pick up Chase, the Dolphins pick up Waddle or Smith.
Yeah, all these other teams we already went through won't have these options.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Detroit could easily pick up one of these guys.
And they definitely
seriously.
They definitely need to pick up one because the dude that was there is now in New York. So
right. And I didn't even think about this until now.
So yeah.
No, at number 7, if any of these wide receivers are better, that they need to pick this. Yeah. They need to pick up this one of these receivers.
Right.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer because you're picking out a Waddle, Chase, or Smith at number 7. You can't go wrong with any of those 3. And if you want a bigger receiver, which not much bigger, you can go with Bateman or you can go at Terrence Marshall, and you're still winning as far as that pick at number 7.
Yeah, because right now Detroit's not expected to do a whole lot. So
no, they're building.
That team is rebuilding, and they will have a chance to grow. So they get the players that are not going to be expected to carry the load right away, but they will get plenty of playing time, and they'll get plenty of experience from that.
Right. Packers, offensive tackle, wide receiver, cornerback, inside defensive lineman, and linebacker. I didn't realize that the Packers had this many problems, but okay. I think they can't go wrong with offensive tackle based on everything else they have. They got the running back is back. Aaron Jones is back. You still want to protect Aaron Rodgers as well. So I think offensive tackle would be the ideal pick. Packers pick at number 29.
I was thinking late 20s.
Whew, I don't even know if they'll get a good one.
So I'm looking at the list from 50 and maybe between let's see. We're talking about offensive tackle.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Maybe the guy from North Dakota State.
Let me look at page 2.
Yeah, I'm looking like most of these guys. It's like a big drop off outside of the first 2 or 3.
But you're talking about maybe a few teams that are going to go offensive line, particularly offensive tackle. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But as far as the Sewell, Slater, Darrisaw, they may be gone by 29, maybe. But I can see where Slater or Darrisaw still be there. I can see it.
That's a possibility.
So I could say one of those two. I think Solo's probably going to be gone. I don't see him getting outside of the top 10. So solid pick, but I mean, I didn't know they need all this other problems. I mean, the cornerback, linebacker, I thought their defense was pretty decent.
See, and it's funny because I thought it seemed like through free agency they didn't take care of these issues.
I don't think they did. I didn't hear anybody getting signed by the
Yeah.
Packers outside of the running back got re-signed, Aaron Jones. That's the only thing I heard.
Yeah, so they're getting
Okay.
young there at those other positions. So
Panthers offensive tackle, cornerback. Which one you think they go?
I think they'll go corner.
They go corner. They're picking at number 8.
They can also throw a monkey wrench into Dallas's plans.
Definitely, they can go.
Possibly.
Even with the Eagles with spectacular pool, yo, they could pick up J.C. Horn,
Yep.
Patrick Surtain.
And they just lost Samuel, so I'm kind of shocked that wide receiver.
I will say this:
not a problem on theirs.
Yeah, I agree, but I will say this: they go with Caleb Farley. They'll take him at number 8. That's my guess. I don't think they go offensive tackle. I think they'll probably go for one later on down the line. They'll probably go with Caleb Farley at number 8.
You would take Farley over Surtain, though?
I wouldn't, but I'm just thinking the Panthers would.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't take Farley over Surtain or J.C. Horn, but I just think that they would. That's just. I mean, that's just my guess.
And probably and it's funny because I'm also looking at the fact. Okay, running back is an auxiliary issue because they definitely going to need depth.
Yeah, I agree because Christian McCaffrey is good, but I don't think he's an every down back, and he just lost Mike Davis. But at number 8, I think in the second round, they still got a top pick in the second round. I think they'll probably go with a running back then.
Right. If not,
I think they'll do that.
Either that or because they just got the trade for Sam Darnold. So I don't even know this list was made probably before that trade. I would scratch quarterback being an issue for them. They got
I'll scratch that too. I don't even know why they got that secondary. That makes sense. I don't understand. I mean, that don't make sense. I can
see second round them going to a tight end now.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely can see that because Greg Olson's gone.
Well, Greg Olson's been gone.
Yeah, he's been gone. I don't know why
they just didn't have anybody.
They don't have anybody, right?
Right.
Patriots, quarterback, linebacker, wide receiver. They
coach.
Just got.
They need a new coach.
I think quarterback is a priority. I think a quarterback is a priority here, and they are at number 15. I don't know if they're going to try to move up. I would not be surprised if they tried to move up. I can see Trey Lance getting to them at number 15. I can see him possibly dropping. I can also see Felipe Franks is another one that they could probably pick up. Because I think Wilson, Fields, and Lawrence are gone. Trey Lance may fall to them. Mac Jones probably be gone too. So I'll see them probably trying to pick up Trey Lance.
Yeah, I think they definitely need to think more of the future. I think what's the name being the lucky coach that he was to have Tom Brady for all those years. He has to think about the fact that Cam Newton is not old.
No, he's not ideal, and not at all.
Right, so you gotta think about the future. So,
right, so, I definitely see that. I don't see any other pick, linebacker, wide receiver. Yeah, I don't. Didn't they pick up a wide receiver from the Titans, or was that the Jets?
They picked up they picked up the dude from the Titans.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think wide receiver would be to the wayside. Raiders, offensive tackle, inside defensive lineman, linebacker. They definitely need offensive tackles. I think they got rid of one of their I think they got rid of Hurst, the offensive tackle, and I think they just got rid of another defensive lineman earlier today as we speak. They got rid of him. So Everything is on their front seven, offensive, defensive side. It's all around their linebacker. I don't know who they'll pick up. Um,
What number
but
are they picking?
the Las Vegas Raiders are picking number 17.
Ooh,
So it's kind of iffy here. Wherever they go, I think if they go offensive tackle, it wouldn't hurt them too much.
I would go interior defensive lineman, but
Interior
he's
defense.
not.
I was about to
That's
say that as
not.
well. I was just looking at them. That'd be another one that they can go. Um, Tommy
There's
to Laga to Liga.
what's their Are they in the 3-4 or are they in the 4-3?
They're in a
Or
4-3.
okay, hmm. I
Yeah,
can
they
see
run a
them going
4-3.
interior. Yeah, I can see them getting an interior defense lineman. Trying to
Yeah.
figure out who to get though. Yep, the dude Levi.
Everybody saying they need a free safety. Doug Thomas say Trayvon Morwig. I think I said that right.
DC. Yeah, I think you. There he
Out
is.
of TCU. Yeah, he's a top safety in the draft. I would not be surprised at that. I
Yeah,
would
they
not
got.
be surprised at that.
Yeah, they got him. They got the safety listed as a secondary concern, but it could be primary. It'd be fast. Forwarded to primary real quick. So uh, that'd be a good pick.
Complimentary says Raiders need a wide receiver. I don't know
Uh,
about that. Maybe you know something I don't know.
Las Vegas, through their history, has always made sure they have wide receivers on deck. So I think they can relax a little bit and focus on other areas of need.
It's not only just that. It's just that look at the wide receivers that are available, and
Mhm.
look at the ones that won't be available at 17. Is it worth them getting the wide receiver first round for Demai Brown from North Carolina or a Terrace Marshall? Well, Terrace Marshall, I don't even think he may not even be there at number 17. But I would not be opposed to that. But I don't think he'll be there. So I think free safety. I think this is a really good fit. I think Doug Thomas knows his team, so he said they need it. He said they'll go free safety first, and I'm not opposed to that. No more than I look at it, because that is their secondary need on the list.
Right.
And if he's the better player out of all the other first needs, I don't see a reason why they won't do that.
And Doug, how many times have you seen your team, go wide receiver after wide receiver? It's kind of like what Detroit did some years back. It's just constantly getting receivers and receivers, and most of them not pan out. So yeah, you got to take care of area of need, and I agree with Doug.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I'm with him on that. Next team, Rams, offensive tackle, interior offensive lineman, tight end, linebacker, edge rusher. The Rams are picking. Oh, where are the Rams?
I would think they'd be in the 20s.
Wait a minute.
Oh, they're higher up.
Wait a
'Cause
minute.
remember, they
No,
completed
wait.
that
I don't
trade.
see him.
They sent some of their picks. They sent some of their picks for Matthew Stafford because Stafford's on the team now.
Whoa,
They
wait
had
a
to-
minute.
they had to
Wait a
send
minute.
couple of-
No, LA gave up their pick number 25.
yeah,
So they gave it to the Jaguars.
man. But the Rams sent some. It wasn't a straight up pick or trade in acquiring Matthew Stafford.
Let me look that up. That could have been a first round pick for next year. Let me look.
Yeah,
Let me
because
see.
the Rams sent Jared Goff to Detroit for Matthew Stafford, and the Rams, I believe, sent.
Yeah,
maybe a couple
it's 2022.
draft picks. Okay, so
Yeah, they gave up the first round for 22 and 2023. So
Okay.
yeah, they only gave up the third round pick for 2021.
Okay.
The pick this pick right here, they couldn't give up the first round pick for Jared Goff because this Los Angeles Rams to the Jaguars, that's the Jalen Ramsey pick.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the Jalen Ramsey pick.
Okay,
So the Rams don't have anybody till the second round, so we're
But
gonna
they're-
pass on them because we don't know what the hell they're gonna do in
and
the
they're
second round.
already they're in contender status. So
Yeah, they're
a lot of
loaded
these
already.
Positions are going to be depth,
Basically, second round is gonna be best player available.
pretty much.
Yeah, they'll do best player available. Ravens, edge rusher, safety, wide receiver.
They just lost They lost the edge rusher, and they're about to lose their tackle. So
Yeah,
That offensive tackle, they may let's see with Lamar Jackson back there, still having, in a way, still getting some seasoning as far as his accuracy and his ability to read defenses, which he can read defenses. Just that he needs more options, and he got Sammy Watkins there. But they need more options at wide receiver because Watkins didn't always get open in Kansas City, but Kansas City had better targets. So
They're picking number 27. I don't know what receiver that they can get.
yeah, most of the receivers that we already talked about will probably
They
be
may be gone. Yeah, Kadarius Toney at Florida, maybe.
Yeah, because the Ravens almost lured what's the name away from Indianapolis, but that didn't work. So
Right.
like I said, Watkins is there by himself with Hollywood Brown. But after that, I'm like, they have their reliable tight end, but I did with Lamar Jackson there again. I'm not really so much worried about the offensive line because he pretty much can escape at will. So I would work on that defense. Edge, like this says, edge would be my one concern.
Yeah, that would be a concern. Safety, they got Patrick Queen at safety. I don't know why, but I don't know why that would be a concern. But okay,
maybe they need another one because
maybe they need a strong safety.
Because that's the thing, you heard of Patrick Queen, but then there was nobody else.
Right, I was saying they may need a strong safety. That's what I was saying.
Remember, they had experience back there, but those guys got old quick.
Yeah, they got cold. They got old and they're gone. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, remember Earl Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his ass whooped by his
his wife. Yeah, his wife took him down. New Orleans Saints. Cornerback, wide receiver, edge rusher, linebacker. Why quarterback is not on this list, I have no idea.
It's there, but it's way down because I think even though they signed Jameis Winston, what was it, for a year or whatever, they really are putting the screws to Jameis. I think they want Taysom Hill as their quarterback, and they're going to make sure they're going to force feed it on the fans. They're going to force feed it across the NFL that will be their starting quarterback going into the season, and that's not going to bode well for that team.
Yeah, they picked number 28th
because they definitely need more wide receiver help. But I would work.
They do need wide receiver help.
I would work on that defense.
Yeah, their cornerbacks is not that. Their cornerbacks are okay. Marshawn Lattimore's on one side. I don't know who's on the other side, so they could use a cornerback as well.
What number are they picking? Because
28.
I would look at linebacker.
Yeah, linebacker wouldn't be too bad either.
I would definitely look at linebacker.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad either. The thing about them, they have tons of needs, and the thing about it is when it's their turn to pick, their needs are going to be available for them. Mm-hmm. So they can like when you got needs across the board, and every place you look at a need, there's a quality player. So you're pretty much in pretty good shape for the Saints. I think they'll be okay on that end. Seahawks, edge rusher, offensive tackle, cornerback. They need to go offensive tackle easily.
Yeah.
They need to go offensive tackle because that offensive line is abysmal.
Yeah, you don't want to see Russell Wilson
continue to run
like he does because he runs like a chicken with his head cut off, and it's just crazy to see him do like he thinks he's Lamar.
Uh-oh.
Well, what's going on?
Seattle traded their first round pick to the Jets.
Yeah, that's right.
Sheesh.
Oh
my God. That's the Adams trade.
Yeah, the Empire is definitely the Empire of Seattle, that team that used to be on top of the league is almost
their next pick is 56 in the second round, 56 overall pick. They're probably gonna pick next best player available.
Yeah. So, and again, I think that they should go offensive tackle.
Yeah. Whoever's the best offensive tackle there at the second round, they should go there. Steelers, cornerback, offensive tackle, interior offensive lineman, running back. Cornerback, possibly. Offensive tackle, maybe. Well, basically offensive line because they say interior offensive line as well. So,
I'm surprised tight end isn't higher on this list.
Right. Steelers pick number 24.
24. If
And you know, we didn't even talk about the Jets and the Jaguars got 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, so
We didn't even talk about that. And I think the Dolphins do too.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the monkey wrench that's going to be, as far as them having multiple first-round picks, that's going to be the monkey wrench in a lot of these people's plans because, their secondary options are going to be available in the first round. So,
Right. Yeah, you're right. Or you could turn around and say, I'm going to do best player available right there and then go in the second round and get the player that you really wanted because their secondary option may be a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So just get the best player available after your real first-round pick, then get the player that you want in the second round that was going to be there anyway.
Or dangle the carrot in front of these teams that are looking to move up.
Exactly.
So,
Steelers go offensive lineman. I don't know which one, but I think they go offensive line on this one.
yeah, they just lost Pouncey.
Yeah.
Retirement, so they definitely need to upgrade, especially for a quarterback that's aging. And the quarterback situation there, it's like behind him, you have Dwayne Haskins. They signed another one of their backups to an extension. So
Yeah.
if Roethlisberger goes down, I believe with Haskins, he's talented, but he's still in the troubled section.
Right.
So, and he has a lot to prove, but he has to put in the work. That's just his only issue. He's just lazy.
Right. All right. Texans.
Oh God. They
Cornerback, interior defensive lineman,
PR.
wide receiver, interior offensive lineman, tight end, edge rush. They need 6 different positions.
And they signed the most people in free agency period and still have these issues, which is crazy.
Right.
They signed a boatload. I don't mean to use boatload with that.
With that team, right?
Poor choice of words. But they signed a lot of people. They signed insurance just in case Deshaun Watson. That situation goes the way that they planned it to go. So,
They can. This is basically. When do they pick? Wait a minute. Hold up. Do they have a first round pick?
They probably gave that away. They gave it. Hey, no, they should have a first round. Because why would they give? We knew Bill O'Brien was there, so he probably did give away a first round pick. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to see because I don't see a first round pick on them.
Yeah, I think he gave away.
I see Titans. No, the Miami Dolphins had that pick. Cause remember that was the
tackle that they acquired.
Yeah, that was the Laramie Tunsil trade.
Who was
the Miami Dolphins
earlier in the chat?
Yeah. That pick went to the 49ers at number 3. So the Houston Texans would have been number 3 overall if they never touched this pick. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have a first round pick. Yeah, Doug Thomas said they don't. He said they traded the Tunsil to Miami. So Doug Thomas said they should pick up Landon Dickerson from Alabama. Interior offensive lineman. Second round. When do they pick in the second round?
Sure, they probably screwed themselves and probably picking later. But I would assume if they kept their second round pick, they would be like number 3.
Whoa!
Wow, they gave away they don't have any picks.
They don't even have the second round pick. That was from the Laramie Tunsil pick trade as well.
I tried to tell you, like Bills and I, we all
they don't pick.
To warn you guys about Bill O'Brien, the way he was running things, and here we are.
They don't get a pick until number 67, third round, bro. They're gonna get somebody like Ben Cleveland out of Georgia, like the 105th rated offensive lineman.
They would do better having open tryouts. At this point, I'm like, the best player available will be the first one that walks on.
Right. Hey, can you fit this jersey? Okay, you good? Come on.
It's like these pads, they're too big. Oh, don't worry about it. You'll grow into it. Be a
You're
six,
growing
7-year-old
too,
quadriplegic.
right, bro?
Oh
Let's skip
God.
them. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
good. We're good. We're good.
So sad.
Titans.
Forget about Dickerson.
Yeah, exactly. Forget about Dickerson.
Forget about the season. Forget about the draft. Forget
Yeah,
about
just forget
Deshaun
about it. Just
Watson.
forget about it.
Yeah, they're screwed themselves.
Yeah, they're done.
Right.
Um, let's see what I'm about to say.
Clash of the Titans.
Titans, cornerback, wide receiver, offensive tackle. This team is actually in a pretty good position to get the
Yeah.
best player available.
Where they're
Even though
picking-
they did lose a cut, they did lose some receivers.
yeah, they lost their primary, I think.
Yeah, they lost their number one receiver. They're still in a good position to get the best player available. You would like for them to get a top receiver. They're picking number 22, so they may not be the case. So what they may do is get the best receiver available, which is not a bad thing. But if they don't get the best receiver available, I think they'll end up getting the best player available overall.
Mm.
And I mean, I'm not even mad at whatever they do because they still have a pretty good team overall. But you do want, you would like to have Tannehill to have somebody to throw the ball to.
Or another option out the backfield. I know it's not one of their priorities, but I think they may be. I'm not looking at their roster, obviously, but I think it would be good to have a scat back there. I know you can deliver it the Derrick Henry out the backfield, but we all know what he's getting used for. So
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I think he can catch out the backfield, but he's definitely not being used for that.
yeah,
And I know they got the running back from Appalachian State, Darion Evans. He's pretty good, huh?
Oh, you say he's pretty good. So
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, he's pretty good as far as catching the ball out the backfield. So I can see them probably not doing that. But then again, he's from Appalachian State, so they probably get somebody else.
And for that reason, now that I know, yeah, I would definitely look for another running back. But it would be like a later round type thing. But I would see them going after a corner. Trying to see.
Yeah.
What
Because at 22. Yeah, because at 22, you're still going to have a pretty handful of corners still up there. Newsome, we haven't even talked about Newsome.
Mm-hmm.
If Farley drops, I can see that, but I still think I got a feeling that the Panthers are going to pick him. Eric Stokes is another one. Maybe Asante Samuel Jr. Maybe. Possibly.
It wouldn't be a bad pickup.
No, it wouldn't be a bad pickup, but my thing is I think Asante may go earlier because of his name, but I think that'll be a good fit for him in Tennessee. Vikings, interior offensive lineman, edge rusher, offensive tackle. So they basically need anybody on the offensive line and one in edge rusher.
Yeah, because Kirk Cousins, the thing about him, it's just that he needs protection. He needs time to do his robotics up there. So it's one of those things where you give him more time, he'll be able to deliver the football. He won't get yelled at on the sideline. He won't have a spasm on his receivers like Jefferson did on him. I thought that was classic. A rookie receiver yelling at a veteran quarterback, "Oh, fucking ball, bitch!" Thought that was classic, but I would see them.
Vikings pick number 14.
Oh God, yeah,
they're kind of early.
Offensive. Yeah, definitely. No, they can use help on the edge. I would go edge.
They can't go wrong with either one.
Yeah,
but they really can't. But more dynamic is your edge rush because I mean, isn't Leslie Frazier still over there, the defensive coordinator?
I think so.
No, Leslie Frazier's with the Bills. What am I talking about?
Yeah, about to say.
So I don't know who their defensive coordinator is. It depends on that. That will be determined if they go either or. You can't go wrong with either one, but I'm probably with you, man. Edge may be the move.
Yeah, they got their pick, and I'm going back to my man Azeez Ojulari.
Jalen Phillips might be still available. I think Patey's gonna be gone by 14. There's a possibility he be gone, so it could be one of those two. I'm with you on that.
And then again, they can still transition any of these linebackers that could be available. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baron Browning, Xavier Collins,
Uh-huh.
uh, trying to think, Jabril Cox. Jabril Cox is a really he could move around as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Moses is wow, they got Dylan Moses way down at 122. That guy's gonna be a steal. Dylan Moses out of Alabama. That dude's gonna
Uh-huh.
be a steal for anybody who picks him up that late. How is he number 122 out of all these prospects? It's crazy. I don't
The
get that.
person who did this list probably from Auburn.
Gotta be. Because no, that dude's gonna be a steal. He'll probably end up getting picked in the fourth round and probably be a starter right away. You
Right.
know, I'm not joking when I say that. That dude is good.
Mm.
Let's get to your team. Last but not least, Washington football team, offensive tackle, linebacker, safety, cornerback.
Yeah.
I want your thoughts on this.
All right. Well, I don't really see corner as an issue. Uh, we had a couple of rookies definitely. Well, we had one rookie, Cameron Curl, kind of like shine and become a starter in his own right. Right now, our depth chart has Collins and Curl starting opposite one another. Some people are thinking that Curl has taken Collins' position. I'm not. Let's see. As far as our first round pick, because we have number 19, I would
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
go.
number 19. Yes.
See, I'm thinking lineman because we're young. We're outside of Fitzpatrick. We're young at quarterback, so quarterback is not really a concern. But if we do go quarterback, we can throw a monkey wrench into a couple of people's plans. If we're looking at quarterback, uh,
What if Trey Lance drops?
that's the thing. That's popped up, and there's been a possibility that we could trade up to get him, which would kind of be a reach. I wouldn't trade up to get him. We've done
Right.
that before with a quarterback. Not his fault entirely, but I'm just saying we can't be doing that.
Right.
And it seems like the coaching staff and the front office are a little bit more disciplined this time around. So we'll see. But I would want them to get line help. They definitely need the line help. Um, but
I think y'all should go with Felipe Franks in the later rounds. Third
I think
round pick, fourth round pick. Go with Felipe Franks and see what you can do with him. He's actually pretty good in my opinion. I've seen him play against Georgia when they played that Florida Georgia game. Felipe Franks, him and
mhm.
what's his name, Jake Fromm went back and forth with each other, and it was actually a pretty good game. So I don't know if they got an eye on him, but him at a fourth round and let him sit, I think that'd be a really good look because he's not bad at all. 6'6", 234.
But
Yeah, I think he'd be all right.
here's the thing: who out of the linebackers can cover tight ends? Because that's been our single most problematic position on our team, and that's
Michael
going on for
Parsons.
a year. So I mean, if he's
Oh,
there,
Jabril
then what?
Cox is another one. Jabril
So
Cox could cover as well.
see, and that's the thing. We definitely are looking for because we're in the 4-3, but we run kind of like a mix. Sometimes we do 4-3, sometimes it's 3-4. So it's just like we definitely need somebody to come in and be able to cover the tight ends because that's been I'm like at one point we had Zach Brown covering tight ends, and he was supposed to be one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL, but the dude's dumb as a rock. And can't cover it and couldn't cover for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, he's very athletic, very talented. I'm sorry to throw shots at him. He's an alumni of my old high school, but inside information, dumb as a rock. So it's one of those things
What
where
are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about what Quaface just said? He like Mon in the third, Kellen Mond from Texas A&M, 6'2", 6'3", 205. He actually had a pretty good college career. What do you think?
um obviously I never heard of him, but we do need a cover linebacker, and if he is a cover linebacker, I would
He's a
like to see.
quarterback.
He's a what?
He's a quarterback. Kellen Mond, quarterback out of Texas A&M,
See,
third
so
round.
I told everybody I don't pay attention to college that much. No, not that late for a quarterback. I'm like
Really?
not that late. No, because if we're gonna develop somebody in the next couple of years, and one of the two that we already have on the roster don't really pan out, we need somebody that can step in by like the second.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Shock G. Well, he was Digital Underground.
They're about to say.
That's it.
Wow.
Not a lot of people know he was both Shock G and Humpty Hump.
Right.
So we just lost the whole group in one swoop. Ouch.
Dang, got it. Shock G passed away. That's crazy. Damn. Yeah, Shock G was. Yeah, exactly.
Rest in peace, Shock G. Pretty much Digital Underground. And these fellas, Terrence Clark car accident.
Who's Terrence Clark? What the hell? Let me look this up.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with Kellen Mond in the third round though. I don't have a problem. I think that's actually a good move.
UK men's basketball player Terrence Clark dies in a car accident. That's the second player, a collegiate player that died in a car accident. There was a collegiate player that was playing in the playing games, and he died in a car accident.
Right. Yeah.
His sister. So wow, Jesus Christ! And I've been and obviously I have a sense, just like a lot of people, I have a sensitivity to car accidents because I've been in one. One that produced a fatality out of it. So,
yeah, he was just playing this year.
Right.
NBA draft prospect. He was going to the NBA draft. He missed 17 games with a foot injury.
Damn.
He declared for the NBA draft in March. Police tell us he was taken to Northridge Hospital where he was pronounced dead.
Damn.
It happened in LA. Dang, that's crazy. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, too many people are passing away. You're right. You are right, Complimentary. Too many people are passing away. That really sucks. But back when I don't have a problem with Kellen Mond in the third round, man. I mean, like Quaface said, it's like,
do you even have a third round pick? Because that's usually it's like, okay.
Yes, y'all do. Y'all got a third round pick.
Okay, because one of the things that has been an issue with us has been the second round pick. Hopefully, we don't have a second round pick this year because they threw out a list of failed second round picks. Y'all
got a second round pick as well.
Okay. Well, hopefully with different coaching staff will pick.
Yeah, like I said, I'm with Quaface on that. Third or fourth round, get a quarterback and develop him. And because the thing about it is, it's not necessarily trying to get a quarterback early. You want to get a quarterback late that actually can produce at a high level because you don't necessarily ever have the pressure of putting them in right away. I mean, if you have to, you have to, but you won't have any pressure on it because, like, say, for instance, if you did pick up one in the second round or if you picked up one in the first round or whatever, you will have more pressure to put him in when something goes wrong. But you get a quarterback in the fourth round and more, I ain't going to say more people, but just in general, based on logistics in the contract, the way it looks like, you'll be less inclined to actually have to put him in right away. So,
all right. So the way I would see it is that linebacker in the first, offensive tackle, no, not in the second. I'm a little superstitious about second. I would go offensive tackle. I actually would want to go offensive tackle third round. I would go linebacker first round.
If you go that third round, who's going to be a second round pick? And if that's the case, go with Felipe Franks in the fourth.
Felipe Franks.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the guy can play. He's not that bad.
No, I'm not. I don't have a disagreement there. I would just lead the safety for the second round because I feel like we're good at safety as much as people don't think much of Collins. But the emergence of Curl has made that a little easier, and Reeves as our backup is pretty good. As long as Troy Apps, he doesn't see the field, that's all I'm worried about.
Got you. Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good move. They say offensive tackle, linebacker, safety, cornerback. Yeah, I can see linebacker.
Yeah, because corner would be definitely depth because we did add a steal in the free agency as far as corner.
Right. Okay, so that's all the teams. Next week on Tuesday, we're going to be doing the same thing. It's probably going to be a part 2 unless something crazy happens. And the preview of part 2 is going to be basically we're going to be looking at people who possibly could actually be steals in the draft. As far as franchise changes for part 1, I think we kind of covered it indirectly, just looking at who's going to be going to what team and what could change if they're actually there. Because everybody that we picked, I can see everybody is going to actually be starting right away and changing the dynamic of the team. Everybody that we picked that's going to be a need for these teams or actually going to possibly get picked up by these teams are going to be somewhat of a changer. I mean, outside of the Texans, I mean, they Jesus Christ, I don't know what they're going to be doing for this football season. But other than that, I think that's what we're going to be doing for part 2. Probably be doing some other sports talk as well, or sports gaming talk, whatever the case may be, whatever happens over the weekend. And I think that's pretty much it, DJ. You want to add anything, or you want to do your outros and get up out of here?
Well, I know my eyes started to hurt because I had to close a whole bunch of screens. So,
well, let's do your outro before it gets worse.
Oh boy. So, all right. So you guys can find me. Well, obviously, we're on Twitch as well as YouTube. But wait a minute, we're not multi-streaming again.
No, we're not multi-streaming. No.
Okay. So if you want to find me on Twitch, you can find me at EVO325. That's Echo Victor Oscar. As I identified last night, I did serve in the military, so I know the phonetic spelling a bit. So EVO at 325 over on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter, DJ81. If you want to check out the blog site, you can find me over there at dj81.org. And on there will be not just my articles, but also the playlist, the YouTube playlist for my show, What the Fuck Just Happened. We'll have episode, I think we did 24 last night. We'll have 25 next week. Topics incoming. I'm thinking of having a flashback retrospect of my channel. So, little homework for you guys if you want to check out the channel. This is like a cheap way to get some view bumps. But if you want to check out my channel, I have everything organized, playlist by year, and some random other playlists just to give them a check. And let me know what was your favorite channel or your favorite video that that stood out or whatnot. And I will probably bring that up on the show next week. So make sure you tune in for episode 24, What the Fuck Just Happened, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday. So, and I'm also getting the second shot that day. So,
you sure you're gonna be up for the podcast if you take that second shot?
I'll be up for this. I'll be up for a retrospect if everybody does their fucking homework. So, oh, there's Dre just coming. It reads, just coming by to say great show, and DJ, I love your podcast. Awesome work, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. And
I appreciate that.
And also, it's available on Spotify and SoundCloud. So I always try to push out the links on Twitter and whatnot. So yeah, so I think episode 24. So now 21, 22, 23, and 24 are up on Spotify, so they're ready for your listening pleasure, and as well as on SoundCloud. But thank you, I much appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, I already put the link in the chat, so if you guys want to go over there and check out his podcast, go over there, give him a follow on Spotify. Also, if you want to check it on SoundCloud, go over there, just type in WTF This Happened. Pretty sure it'll pop right on up. Same thing with this podcast here. This podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Spotify. So not only that, you can listen to his podcast, you can listen to this podcast, and every Sunday. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, that's why I started laughing. It was like, yeah, bring them right back to my vlog.
No, yours was overlapping. I'm talking about the bottom one. That's what I was worried about.
There it is.
The VF cast is not, I have not put those up on Spotify yet. I still have a couple things I want to do with that one before I put them up. Probably at least get the episode number 10 before I do that. The VF cast is every Sunday at 10 a.m. Over there, I talk about just basic gaming stuff that's outside of the realm of the sports side of gaming. So if you want to hear about basic Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo news, I talk about that. Usually go for about an hour. Shout out to everybody who's been listening over there as well. like I said, we got a lot of content over here. DJ's doing his thing. He's doing pretty well with his podcast. We're doing this over here. I'm doing my thing with my podcast. Also, I am streaming. Shout out to people who came through, watched the MLB The Show stream. I'm going to be doing some more streams since I got the game room almost done. I still got a lot of stuff to do over here. Got the one of my old school TVs over here, the other old school TV here. All the entertainment's going to be over here, and all the gaming stuff is going to be behind me. So it's going to be a lot more content that you already think is not a lot already. That you think is a lot already. It's going to be a lot more be coming through on down the pipe. So go ahead and subscribe here. Subscribe to DJ's channel. Follow him on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. I have a second channel. That link is down in the description. It's the VF Cast channel. The Patreon, if you guys want to support the Patreon, go ahead and click that as well. Even if you don't want to support, just go read and see what we're doing over there. The Teespring link, I got some more merch that's about to come out probably by the end of the month. I was going to do it by the 16th, but the merch I wanted to put through there did not go through yet. So I canceled it, and I'm going to do another design for the merch. And I do have a Facebook page that I use for gaming. I still use that pretty much to put all the stuff over there. So if you happen to be on Facebook, you'll probably get a notification on what's going on over here. Also, one more thing, we have the Discord, Cash App, PayPal, all that stuff. You can come through and support us in every which way. We got a lot of stuff going on. So even though you may think we're one of the smallest, trust and believe we put out the most and best content, in my opinion. Got a lot of stuff going on here, and thank you guys for supporting. So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of cleaning up. I got to go to work in the morning. I'll probably be streaming when I get off work. So check me out over there on Twitch. And until then, you guys take it easy. You guys be safe. And I will see y'all possibly tomorrow. Definitely will see y'all for part 2 of the draft preview on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right. Peace out. Out of here.